Well, hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all well. I am here on my lonesome tonight because Mr. Hunter is away on a wee break for a holiday for a night, using a prize he won in a draw or something for a weekend away that he won last Christmas or something. So he's having to get it used before this Christmas comes this year again. So that's what's happening. So I hope you've all had a fantastic week. Can I remind you all, please keep sharing the show. This is Tartan Tunes Scottish Sessions every Sunday night. We're on at 8 o'clock. I think Davey's in Pitlochry somewhere. And I will apologise if there's any wee glitches tonight at all. The weather here in Shetland is pretty grim. It's a bit of a gale out there. I'm led to believe it's going to be like that for the rest of the week. The North boats, we talk about the North boats. That's the boats that go between Scotland and Shetland. That's the 12-hour one from Aberdeen to Shetland. It was cancelled last night because of bad weather, and I think tonight's one is as well. So Tesco and Lerwick's starting to look a bit bare again because everybody panic buys and fills their freezers full of hundreds of loaves of bread. I'm not sure what they do with all these loaves of bread. Hi, Stephen Hughes and John right there. I wonder if John's doing better. Anyway, fantastic you on. We had a super show last week with Lorne Cousin on joining us from America. And we're always trying to keep things new for you and new things coming along all the time. Tonight is no different. In fact, it's a bit of a first because our guest this evening is a celloist, and I don't think we've had highlighted a cello player before. We had Martin Skeen on one night, who plays the accordion. I think Martin does play the cello, but he didn't actually play the cello that night. So tonight we have Juliette Lemoine coming on, and she was one of the semi-finalists in the Young Traditional Musician of the Year, and really looking forward to hearing the story of the cello and its place Well, the place, I think, reading about what Juliet's been doing with it, the place she's making for it, and trying to come up with new ideas and new styles, etc., and using it in traditional music. Because quite often we all hear fiddles and stuff like that all the time, but we don't really hear the cellos playing the melodies and things quite often as an accompaniment. So, really looking forward to that. Nice to see so many folk joining us already. Lots and lots of people joining us, which is fantastic. Hello, Phil and Virginia. That is fantastic. Great stuff. So, what I thought I'd do while we're building up numbers and everybody's getting tuned in and getting their cup of tea or their wee dram or whatever it is you're going to enjoy the show with, here is a wee set that I done with my trio about 2 years ago. We were just sitting playing in Lerwick one night and we thought, oh, we'll film a set of reels. So it's myself, Brian Nicholson on the guitar and Graham Jameson on the drums. I think the tunes are the Siege of Ennis. The second one is Tam's Rockin' Fiddle. So the Siege of Ennis, Tam's Rockin' Fiddle, and the last one's Chadwick's Bog. So here's a wee side tunes. Enjoy. There we go. A wee set of reels. Fantastic to see so many. Keep sharing, though, keep sharing. And remember, folks, the show tonight is on Facebook, obviously, and it's also on YouTube. So if you want to watch it on the big screen at home, jump onto the YouTube channel and you can watch it on the telly. which is just fab. Somebody told me the sound's really good, so it's a nice way to watch it. And it's also on Twitter or X or whatever it's called nowadays as well. So anyway, been a busy week. Back to school, been teaching a lot, and then yesterday we had 2 gigs, both in Lerwick, one in the afternoon, a wee jolly for all the helpers of the Tall Ships Race, because we had the Tall Ships Race here in Shetland this year, which was fantastic. Great weekend. And then we were in the lounge bar last night, the famous lounge bar in Lerwick, Shetland, the session bar, and it is for sale. So if anybody's looking for a bar, there's your chance to move to Shetland, buy your own bar, keep the traditional music going. As I said earlier on, we've got a cello player on tonight, which I'm really, really looking forward to. I was speaking to Juliet before the show, and we were sorting out some bits and pieces. So this is going to be a fantastic show because it's completely different from last week's, which is great. I love the contrast we have in our music and the different directions it can go in. So our guest tonight is Juliet Lemoine. I have to still think about that surname yet because my French, I don't think I was very good at French at school, actually. In fact, I was rotten at French. So anyway, there we go. So what we're going to do, here's a wee set of tunes with Juliet playing first, and then we'll bring her on after that, and we'll have a chat and see how it goes from there. Juliet, hi.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, thanks. How are you?
Fantastic to have you on the show. Tell us a wee bit about that track. What was that track there we just heard?
Yeah, it was just a wee clip from a track off my album called Sun on Cold Skin. It was just it's the second tune on the set. It was just a wee clip actually because the full version on that YouTube video is about 15 minutes and it wasn't uploading to YouTube, so I just took a wee my Wi-Fi is not very good, so I took a wee clip. And it was just written when you're like It's a really rubbish long story, actually. Do you want me to tell it?
Yeah, go.
Okay. I feel like I've bored like so many audiences with this really rubbish story like ages recently. No, I always try and take up running, like and fail at it. I'll go on like 3 runs and then be like, yeah, I'm gonna do a marathon or whatever, and then I quit for like another year. And this always happens kind of February time. And basically it's just when I was writing the music, I think I was going on a run, and that way when you put a hoodie on to go running, and then you're really, really like too warm within like a minute.
Yeah.
So I always don't, I avoid doing that. But then as a result, I'm always absolutely freezing until I overheat because I'm unfit. So, but then, when the sun just comes and warms you up and you just feel so much better. Yeah, that's what that tune was about. Full backstory.
Cool. I'm struggling to make out I'm not getting a good connection here, sorry.
No.
Which is a
Can
shame.
you hear me? Can you
I'm
hear me
just
okay right
wondering.
now?
I'm wondering people at home, can you hear okay? As long as you can hear okay, we can work around this and take it from there. It's just a reception thing we've got going on. Somebody let me know in the comments that it's okay. Juliet, tell me, where were you brought up then? Where are you from originally?
I tell people I'm from Glasgow, and then people
Yeah,
tell me that can't be true because I don't sound Glaswegian. So my mum's. Can you hear me all right?
yeah. Everybody's saying they can hear. Absolutely no bother.
Oh,
So
brilliant.
that's
Okay,
great.
so that's good. Yeah, no, my mum's English and my dad's French. But they moved to Scotland when I was little, so Scotland's home. But
Right, great. So Scotland's one brought up music. When did you first get into music then? Was that at school or?
so both my parents are like classical violinists in an orchestra in Scotland.
Ah,
Um, and then my mum, I think when I was like 7 or 8, gave me a violin lesson, and I got really mad because she was so much better at it than me. So that didn't work out. And they thought maybe I'd feel more important or something if I had a bigger instrument. I think that's what it was. So that's how I started playing the cello. It was kind of through that.
right. Okay. So the cello. So it was a very classical upbringing there.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I played classical music until I was about 15 or 14. And like I did really like it, but I was always like really jealous of like of seeing people playing either jazz or traditional music just because they seem to be having so much fun. And like I loved the
Yeah,
music. And yeah, I just really wanted to like be a part of that. So kind of wormed my way in, I guess.
yeah. It's really interesting though, because quite often people I've seen certain people playing traditional or whatever and going over to classical and wanting to learn more, better their techniques, etc., and all that kind of stuff. But you don't see so much possibly the other way. People coming from classical and then drifting into the traditional jazz. Uh,
Really,
but
yeah.
but you have, and you're also trying to create a new sound, and you're doing a kind of combination of the whole thing going on, which was fantastic there because even the lineup we heard just now, cello and violin, piano, and who else was in that one there?
Saxophone, yeah.
Yeah, the saxophone. So it's a completely different lineup than
Yeah,
a normal band would be. Um,
I know. I don't really know
so
if that even counts as traditional music, to be honest. It's like it's whatever you want it to be. But
is that the kind of general quartet you tend to work with if you're doing your own solo, your own shows kind of style thing with the band?
yeah, yeah. So I've been, yeah, sort of in 2 main projects. There's that band which we recorded my like my debut album with, and that's what we've been sort of touring this year. And then also in a duo with the guitarist called Chris Amer as well. So
Right.
that's more stripped back, I guess. But
Okay. Yeah. Great stuff.
yeah.
Right, we are going to have another wee track here. We've got lots to talk about as the night goes on, albums, etc., etc. The next one we have here is one that I picked up on, and it's you playing the very old traditional tune Highland Laddie. As I said earlier, you quite often hear all these tunes played in fiddles and accordions and things, but you don't really hear it very much played as a lead piece on a cello. So, So was this just you experimenting as you came in and started playing, picking up traditional pieces? And
Yeah, I mean, I think like I love fiddle and cello. Like I love string instruments. I think like the music I listen to, or like I don't know, the instrument. One of my favorite instruments is the fiddle, I think. And I was like, well, I can either learn the fiddle or I can try and do it on the cello. But I do love the sound of the cello, and like I love um Quivin, is it O'Reilly in the who plays in the gloaming, like the sort of lower tone of his like viola d'amore or whatever it's called. I can't remember the professional name. And then like Jenna Moynihan and people who've got the sort of 5-string fiddles. I think it sounds so cool, that low sound. And then I came across as well like Cormac Begley's solo records where he's got, you know, the bass concertina and stuff. And I was like, wow, tunes sound really cool low
yeah,
down. You just don't hear it that often. And like when I was a teenager, I was like, whoa, you know, because most cellists you hear in traditional music, they're amazing backers. And
yeah,
they can do like chopping and stuff. So I was really obsessed with that for a few years. And it's sort of recently I was like, oh, I think what I like even more is kind of the melody, and just got more interested in melody playing recently, I suppose.
cool. Here we are. Let's have a wee listen to Highland Laddie. That'll be great. Here we go. Yeah, fantastic. As you can see from lots of comments coming in there, Joe, people are loving that. It's a new sound that they've not heard before.
Yeah,
Which is,
thank goodness when you told me there were live comments, I was like, oh no, the cello hate's gonna come in.
well, not at all. It's fantastic, though, isn't it? But I suppose that's your. I mean, that's really what you want, is just to convince people. Wait a minute, yeah, this is great.
Totally,
This is
yeah.
fun. Because I think. Do you not think the problem is with the cello? Possibly, people are so used to hearing it just as an accompanying instrument, and part of an orchestra that's, unless it's like a cello concerto or something like that. But they're hearing it as a backing instrument, and certainly in folk music until now, most stuff I've ever heard is people using it, like a rhythmic accompanying bass type piano
Yeah,
type accompaniment kind of style thing. I mean Natalie Haas, and I'm trying to remember. There was a chap I heard at Orkney Folk Festival last year. He was playing with Mary Rankin was over
Oh,
the fiddle.
Eric, right. Yeah, he's unbelievable. I mean, so's Natalie Has. They're both, total idols.
Yeah, he was fantastic as well.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Great players. But really working on that accompaniment side of things.
Mm.
So, right. So did you go to the conservatoire, the classical course then, or the folk course?
The folk course, actually.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I learned from mostly from Marie Fielding,
Oh, yeah.
who's one of the fiddle teachers, obviously, yeah, one of the fiddle teachers there, and yeah,
Yeah.
she was brilliant. Yeah.
Okay. So, Marie, obviously, a very famous fiddle player who I've known since she was about 17 years old.
Oh wow.
16 years old. So we used to
No
play in
way.
bands way back together sometimes. But Marie, so was Marie, obviously, Marie's teaching you Scottish tunes, etc., that she plays on the fiddle, but then you are having to put them onto the cello.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, Marie was great because she was so flexible and so like open to sort of different approaches and stuff. So I think sometimes I'd learn a tune from her, and sometimes it wouldn't work on the cello at all. It'd be really hard, and we'd have to work out a way to make it work. You know what I mean? Because I think just because the strings are obviously different sound,
Yeah,
they're different strings and it's bigger, so it just doesn't fit. Yeah, very naturally.
yeah, yeah.
But often I'd sort of often if I would often I'd bring a tune to the lesson or whatever, and we'd sort of just talk about making it. I mean, I guess I didn't really think too much
Mm-hmm.
about the fact that it was a cello. Like, let's treat it like fiddle.
But he probably, yeah, yeah. For myself, even looking at it, all I can think is, that the spacing, etc., on a cello must be huge compared to what violins, etc., have to play. So it must be really difficult to do it, I would have thought.
I find it hard. I try not to play the like excuse cards too much. Like, sort of trying to get. I've actually gone back because I didn't get any like actual. Oh my goodness! What a nice
Oh,
dog
yeah.
that's just come on. Sorry.
Yeah. It was scratching at the
yeah.
door to get in, so I've let it in.
What a nice dog.
Mm.
But no, yeah, I've actually just gone back this year to do a master's degree at the Conservatoire in classical cello because I've
Okay,
not
right.
I've not had any I've not had like a cello teacher in a really long time, like years.
Yeah.
And like I sort of found since graduating like I was lacking, like I just felt like if I could learn, like basically I want to learn how to do the instrument better, and it'll really help with all the trad playing because I'll have the ability to shift and all the
Yeah.
stuff necessary, because it is like I think you do, to play a tune well on the cello, you do kind of need to be able to get around it, otherwise it's going to sound clumsy, because it is, like you say, it's much bigger, so you've got further distance stuff. But
I also think a lot of Scottish musicians that have studied the classical side and technique more than anything.
yeah,
It really does make them fantastic players. You can tackle anything kind of style thing, and
I mean, I agree, although it's a funny thing, isn't it? Because like I'm sort of frightened. Like we'll see what happens, the next year or two. But like I want to make sure to keep going to sessions every week and stuff because like I think I wouldn't ever want to sound like I was like a fully classical player trying to play track. You know what I mean? Like I love the
Yeah, I
sound,
know.
like the
Because
actual.
there was always that big divide, wasn't there, for years
I
and years?
know.
You're the classical musicians, you're the trad musicians.
Totally.
But I think the crossover's more now than it's ever been. To be honest, there's more and
Definitely.
more coming about, which is really good to see because it's a benefit to everybody. To be honest, but um,
Yeah.
it's strange because it's a topic you could speak about all night. That one, but it's nice just to see it starting to all blend together as well. I always think music's music, and we can make it all work for ourselves. It's
No,
good.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Now, what was I going to? Right. Tell me, we're going to have another track. Twilight in a City Park. Tell me about that.
So yeah, this is another, I think it's the third or something, maybe fourth track of my album as well. So all the stuff on my album is original music. And yeah, I wrote it um just thinking about, so there's a session in the Ben Nevis in Glasgow and it used to go on from 9 till 12, but it's now 8 till 11 after COVID, which meant basically you'd be walking home, at sort of 1 in the morning on the regular. And I don't know why I used to be so fearless because I would just do this at like, 1 in the morning, walk through the park, which is not a smart thing with my
Yeah.
cello, walk home. But anyway, but what sort of struck me, because I'm from like the countryside, not at all the city, and it was just like the only moment in the day where there was no like crazy mess and people and everything everywhere, and like you could often see the moon, and there was just a wee loch, no, wee ponds, and I don't know, it was just really nice and sort of very peaceful and calm. And this, it
Yeah.
was the only time the city ever sort of felt like the countryside a wee bit to me. Um,
So this is one of your compositions, and you put this whole piece together.
yeah, yeah. Sort of wrote the music, and then yeah, then arranged it and then brought it to the band. So yeah.
And folks, as I will mention a couple of times, if you're interested in Juliet's album Soaring, you can pop onto her website. The website's addressed there. It's a really nice website. It's really easy to navigate. So jump on, and I'm sure she'd be absolutely delighted to sell you one of the albums.
I'm absolutely
So
delighted.
yeah, so what we're going to do is have a little listen to the next track here, which is Twilight in a City Park. Enjoy, folks. Fantastic. And we've got somebody else who's gate crashed us, Juliet.
Gate crashed. I run
Amazing.
this show. How you doing? Oh, dear me. Just you carry on, Peter.
Have you had a
I'll
good
carry
time?
on.
I thought you were away all night, Davey. I didn't realise you were heading back home.
Yeah, no, we're just seconds in the door.
Oh no way. Commitment to the show.
I don't know if you know, but I did the show on my honeymoon as well.
Seriously.
He did.
Yep.
He did. Yeah, he did. He's very dedicated, this Davey.
That's amazing.
The Sunday
Yeah.
after my wedding was in Ullapool, and the following Sunday was in Stornoway. As you do. But as a lot of folks say, a lovely piece that, as Alan Monroe
Yeah,
said, so much
absolutely.
listened to that piece. Very interesting.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'll let you carry
Yeah,
on,
it's
Peter.
incredible. It's an incredible sound with the lineup. It's fantastic. I really like it. The strings and the sax go just so well together. It's just...
Yeah, no, I really like the sax in the. Yeah, thanks.
Davey.
Yeah.
Trivia question: where was the saxophone invented?
Austria.
Belgium. Close though.
Europe.
That was close.
By,
I only know that.
Joseph
I only know that
Sachs.
because I had to look. What? I only know that because I had to look it up the other day because a student asked me and I wasn't sure. So I said, yeah, Mr. Sachs. Mr. Sachs invented it. Right, cool. So, David, can you speak to Juliet a minute? And I'm going to jump onto my phone and see if I get a better reception here.
I've not seen the first half of the show, Peter, so I've no idea what you spoke about.
Okay. We've just basically spoke about going to the conservatoire and the fusion of music,
Yes.
etc., etc. So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
And
Thanks for...
how the cello is important. But I'm
We can talk about your trip.
No, that's fine. Thanks. Yeah. So,
it's all going good.
how are you finding the break into trad music with the cello when it's obviously not usually used in trad as such, especially as a dominant instrument?
Yeah, I mean, as in what people think of it, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, mixed, to be honest. A lot of people have been very... Oh, we've got two Peters.
It's okay. One's enough.
A lot of people have been, really positive about it, and quite open, I guess. I think there've been other people who've been a bit suspicious, maybe, especially at first. And I think one of the most, and other cellists I've spoken to who played trad sort of agree. But I think one of the most difficult things is actually like when you're doing gigs that are mic'd up.
Yeah.
Getting the sound right for the cello, because it's it's such a specific thing, and it's so like, especially if you're playing, with typical backing instruments, piano, guitar, it's like mid. It's kind of hard to get sounding.
Get in. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's finding that, like I said, the middle ground between the kind of the fiddles and the high end and the bass and the bottom end, and just that bit where everything kind of else can kind of run.
Yeah, totally. And it's like it's really easy to make it. Sorry, it's just and it's really easy. Like it tends to either go a bit like muddy easily or sort of tinny easily. Like I think, I found it's difficult to, more so than a fiddle. I don't really know why that is, but I've just been in a lot of situations where just making the cello sound like a cello in a trad context is a difficult thing. But then I suppose just like the way you play the cello in trad, like just the way you use your bow and stuff, or for me anyway, I'd say is very different. Like it's a lot lighter and stuff. So maybe I don't know. I don't know anything about doing sound. Maybe it's to do with that, but yeah.
No, but it's quite amazing that you, as far kind of the forefront of trad cello, and the first cellist to ever get into the semi-finals of Young Trad as well.
Yeah,
so that's quite good. But that is also showing the development of traditional style music and introducing other instruments, not necessarily even piano. Piano wouldn't be generally described as a trad instrument, but it's kind of it's coming in. Well, it's in now, but the same from like Kate Breton and the cello doing the exact same thing, I think. I think the
Totally.
next thing will be a double bass player in the semi-finals to the Young Trad.
That would be class. I really look
A
forward to
10-minute bass solo.
I genuinely hope that happens. That would be absolutely.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting one, a double bass. That would be interesting. I can hear you. I can hear you guys so much better on my phone, but sorry, Davey, I can't get it to turn on its side, so you'll just have to.
That's all right. We'll have to deal with it. There you go.
That's all right. So
let's have some more music.
Yeah.
What have you got lined up? You have lined up Highway Bridge. Do you want to tell us about that?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's just another track off my album Soaring, and this one, if you listen to the sort of track in full, which I think we will, it starts with a melody, a kind of waltzy thing, and then it goes into a jig, and then at the end the two kind of come together like over the top of each other, so you can listen out for that. And
nice.
Yeah. There we go. It's about a bridge over the motorway near where I live. They're all quite tied to Glasgow.
Juliet, do you ever get out very much? You seem to have written about a park that's right next to you and a bridge that you can see from the window.
I live in a box. You've caught me out.
Was this all done during COVID?
No, weirdly, no. It was just after COVID, so maybe I was still in the COVID mindset.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't go too far. Let's have a listen.
Cool. Fantastic. What a sound. What a sound. Can I ask you, how do you go about composing? Because it's quite interesting that looking at it, that you're composing. Are you a melody person first, or are you a
Total mix. Actually, I weirdly just recently made a wee video about that and put it on I think Facebook and Instagram. If people want to have a look, like it sort of shows kind of how I did it. But no, mostly I'll write, like I'll just imagine the tune in my head. Yeah, so probably melody either melody or chords in my head, but then I'll write it like on a piece of paper, just kind of like A, B, C, like not music notation or whatever. And then until I'm kind of happy with it, and then I'll maybe play it and then see what I think or whatever. And then, yeah, if I was to bring it to a band, like for all those tunes, I brought it all scored out to the band. But I think now I'd probably just play it unless it was really complicated. You know what I mean? Sort of teach it orally or whatever. Yeah.
Because I suppose playing cello and writing for cello and saxophone, you're writing in different clef and all sorts of things, aren't you? So.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if I was to, I think if for saxophone, I mean, I'm not very good at transposing and stuff, so I would just write it in Sibelius and then transpose it, probably. To be honest.
Right. Okay.
Saves.
Well, why not? That makes total sense. Makes sense nowadays, doesn't it? Why not?
Yeah, save the bother.
Somebody's asking how long we've been playing together.
How long have we been playing together? In that setup, I think. What year is it? It's 2023, 2022. Probably only like a year.
Juliet, you really do need to get out a bit more.
Yeah, it's terrible. I'm such a fan, aren't I? So, like, because I wrote it, like that music anyway. I wrote for a like uni project, like in the conservatory or whatever. It was a negotiated project or something, and then I emailed texted. See, I even say emailed. Texted these guys saying, "Hey, do you want to play on this thing?" And it wasn't ever going to be released as like an album or anything. And then but we played together before. Like I think like Charlie Stewart did a New Voices thing in COVID, and we were all on that. And like I think we'd all played together. And Charlie and Fergus went to school together, and then they both played Mats. But like I think there were loads of crossovers, but we'd not played together in that group of four until writing this music, I guess. So yeah.
Nice. Works really well.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Is it? Do you, with the fact you've got sax as well? I take you take inspiration from the jazz style of playing as and when performing and recording.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't feel like qualified to say because I don't know enough about jazz. Like I really don't know.
Yeah.
Like I love some of my favorite musicians are like Brad Mehldau at the moment. Actually, is my main one. Who's obviously an amazing jazz pianist. But I think what I like so much about it is the sort the freedom and the improvising and harmony and like the richness and stuff. But a lot. I don't know. I think I really like Matt's playing, and Matt's quite a folky sax player as well.
Yeah.
Like he's really interested in traditional music, and I just I think it's more. It wasn't so much about necessarily the sax. Like I do a lot. I think the tenor sax. It was a combination of wanting tenor sax and cello together because it's such a similar range but slightly different sound. And also just thought Matt was the right person for that because he had a similar music tastes and like the same things and similar vision.
Another thing to touch on with yourself, you talked about you're going back to do your masters just now so as you can get tuition, etc. again, because you didn't have so much of that in the conservatoire course, but the traditional course. But you've also done a fair bit of tuition yourself as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I guess so. Just like mostly, a mix of sort of private teaching. There's a great organization called the Folks Music Project, which I'm not currently teaching it actually, but taught cello and like a traditional music ensemble for like primary 4 to teenagers, which is great. And you've caught me on the spot. What teaching do I do? Just wherever they want me.
No. I think you pretty much hit on it. The folk music project one. That was the one I was meaning really, and it's an interesting scheme because it brings through so many youngsters and gives them a chance to have a go at it, basically. And the fact that the cello's in there is great. You're going to hopefully get more cello players coming out at the end of the day.
Yeah, and the interesting thing as well, actually, so that was started by Neil Wood, who's a Clarsa player. Like, it was started before COVID. It's still quite a recent thing, but it's grown to see legs. It's amazing. But he got in contact with me because he had 2 cellists in the group, and he was like, "Don't really know what this is all about. Like, come and help out." And then that's how we started, working together with that. But so it's amazing because it actually didn't even come from me being like, "We need more trad cello." It was actually the cellists who are interested, which is amazing. Like,
it's funny that because I don't know if you're aware. Are you aware of the Taste of Young Fiddlers group in Dundee?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, so basically, it was an offshoot of the Dundee Shaftesbury Musical Society back in the 90s.
Right.
Pardon me. Patsy Reed was in part of the original lineup, but they've for the past 5-6 years they've had cello players because the cello players come from the high schools, and want to do something different than the kind of the classical stuff as well. So they've been working with trad cello. On a
That's just amazing. Scale.
The fact that the person who plays and kind of organises the music can't play cello is really hard.
I'm sure. No, it must be. I mean, it must be tricky. I think it's so good though because I think a lot of the cellists who want to do, in my experience anyway, who want to do trad, they're keen enough that they're going to probably try and make it work. And like, because when I was a teenager, there was pretty much, I mean, Natalie Haas and Alistair Fraser, they ran their course on Sky, but I remember contacting, because for under 18s back then, like there's so much more now, which is amazing. Like I think I'd have got into trad a lot sooner because I feel like I really had to fight my way in because, you know, like even like Glasgow Fiddle Workshop and stuff, you couldn't go to the cello class until you were 18 and the Folks Music Project wasn't around. And I don't know, and like I know other cellists, like Alice Allen had the same experience up in Aberdeen, like wasn't allowed to join in anything because she was a cellist. So it's great that it's becoming more common, I guess, because it's, I don't know, I do think there is so much potential. Sorry, I keep bashing on the same point, but like I think it can be a cool thing and people should know about it.
Yeah, but the other thing is people are liking it because I mean you're playing at a lot of festivals now. I looked at the festivals you've been playing at, and obviously you've got work coming in for the band all the time. The band's getting booked, so it's a new thing to people. But and I think we've seen that tonight just with the hosted comments coming in. People going, "Oh my goodness, that's lovely! Wow!" And it's just not something they've even thought about. Or that was a great piece. It's just something new on the plate, which is lovely. You know, it's a great idea. It's good.
Great.
Have you got lots of festivals in for this year or next year? Or?
Festivals, not so much. Playing at Celtic Connections. Not with the full band this year. but the duo project. So yeah, with Chris, we've got a gig on the 26th of January at the Macintosh Church in Glasgow. So that'll be really nice. I think that's the only festival coming up that I'm aware of. I mean, I think there's a few sort of smaller local festivals. Yeah, just trying to think. You've caught me on the spot again. You can go on the website and check. I'll try and keep updated.
Yeah, that's right. Website time. There's always a get out cause. Look at the website. But the other, right, we're going to go to know Sifting Tides by Fractus. Tell me a wee bit about this, because this really caught my ear when I was listening to it this afternoon. I hadn't heard it before.
Yeah.
And it really got me. And I thought, wow.
Yeah, so that's a new band. That's so Mark Hendry is a bassist and amazing composer, and he got this band together, and wrote all the music as well. And it's a mixture of jazz and traditional musicians, I think, and classical maybe. So it's total complete crossover, and and everyone's from a different place. Like the fiddler's from Germany, and the singer's Greek, and Mark's Scottish, and everyone's kind of. And just it's a really beautiful EP. Like I highly recommend checking it out. Like I was asked to play on a few tracks, which was great. I was really happy to be involved in that. It's nice music. And the video you've got, so that's a live video, which is different to the so on the EP, I think it's just piano and voice maybe, but then he did a sort of different arrangement just for the live video, just to mix things up. So
that's nice. Yeah, nice.
Here we go.
If seas could choose the tides they move, follow a course they didn't know, a flowing game, a brief exchange that carries on. If time ascends to stay the same, anchoring all we are today, no autumn leaves, no barren trees, what remains? But you move through here with grace, and this sky it knows no wage, as these currents give and take, finding home in seasons change. The amber rays that fall away as winter blurs the night from day. The calm descend, the clouds relent to reawake. This folding ground that gives away, tumbling plains in time erase. The embers fade, the river strays, an endless race. We are carried on by time, in these currents brought to life. Let these waters be the guide, moving through these sifting tides. If waves could choose the tides they move, follow a course they didn't know, a flowing game, a turning page, carry on.
There we go. Fantastic.
Lovely. Absolutely
Hey, that could be our double bass player. One of the young.
Maybe. I think, maybe. Is he too old? No, he's got a couple of years left in him to enter the young treds.
I've got no chance. I've got no chance.
Just need to change the rules.
I think we need a veteran competition.
100%.
Veterinarians.
Veterinarians. Wasn't that? But yeah, fantastic plans. Any plans for the future in the run up?
Future in general?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like what's coming up? I mean, gig wise, got a gig I'm really looking forward to in about just under a month. It's going to be at the Conservatoire. Actually, it's like a Fridays at 1 gig, so it'll be an hour long gig, and it'll be full band. So Fergus on piano, Matt on sax, and we've got Chloe Bryce on fiddle, who'll be joining us, which will be lovely. And there'll be a mix of album tunes and some traditional tunes and some new tunes. So it should be fun. And what else is happening? Trying to think again. Look at the website. Look at the website.
And remember, as we said before, folks, if you fancy Joette's album, pop on the website and you can get it for there. All the links are there.
There's
straight through.
You just reminded me. There's a cool gig happening actually in a few days on the 2nd of November in Cottiers in Glasgow, which just had a rehearsal for today actually, and it's a mix. There are going to be dancers and costumes, and Greg Lawson's who arranged the Great Orchestra stuff. He's written some music for it, and that'll be very fun. It's like string quartet and percussion and electric track, and it's going to be it sounds a bit nuts, but it'll be good fun. So if anyone's in Glasgow kicking about and fancy coming,
fab stuff. Fab. Sounds great. I wish I was, but I can't get off the island because there's no boats.
I know. A bit of a trek anyway.
Cancelled again. All you guys that are able to go everywhere easily. Right.
Hey,
never mind.
Wouldn't do it last week.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it done last week.
Also, we don't have.
Right. That's right. Yeah, you went. It wasn't good last week, was it?
No.
Anyway, listen, Joette, thank you so much for coming on tonight and giving us your time and coming on.
Thanks so much for having me.
Sorry about the wee hiccups at the beginning where I couldn't hear you, but everybody at home could. They assure me, so it's all right. So it's fantastic. But thanks very much, and we wish you huge amounts of success. And I hope I do see you in Shetland someday. I hope you're up. Bring that cello up here. And
yeah, absolutely.
We need some inspiration for more cello players.
Well, how about this inspiration? One final track from you, Persian Omelette. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
You're gonna make fun of me for not getting out much again.
Stop it, Peter.
No, get ready. It's an even more boring story. So the round the corner from the. To be fair, no, they're not actually boring stories. I think the album, it was just kind of. Do you know what? That's a story for another day. Doesn't matter.
Come on, sell this, Juliet. Sell this. Come on.
Persian omelette is a dish, a menu option from Cafe Hula, which is a cafe. Was a cafe in Glasgow, and it shut down actually in COVID. But it was a great cafe, and lots of musicians would go there because it was right next to the Conservatoire and right opposite the opera building.
Yes.
Ballet opera. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know the one, yeah. Anyway, and there was this omelette called Persian omelette, and it was the best omelette ever. And I don't know why to this day it was Persian omelette. Like to me, it was kind of just an amazing regular omelette, but I thought it merited a tune name. So there you go.
Why
you know what? You've managed to leave the house. You managed to get into the city centre. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, it's a good. Hey, thank you. Exactly.
Juliet, thanks so much for joining us. And sorry I missed the first half, but I will catch up and hopefully we'll see you again.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, thank you so much for having me. It's been great fun.
Thanks, Juliet. Take care.
All the best.
Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.